So I'm really doing this video. I don't really know why. Just kind of working on getting over a fear of being in front of the camera. Ironically, I used to be in short films back in college. I had a short series with some of my former friends, and really had no issue there. But never really had to address or speak to the camera directly. So um, there's not really any purpose to today's video other than just kind of getting in front of the camera and talking. But in short, I'm really creating these daily videos just to talk about kind of some thoughts that I have and just to bring them into the world. And in addition to actual long form content, which I'm really looking forward to sharing with everyone, talking about a myriad of topics in the self development and really just the space of self and kind of getting an understanding of your internal state and how that affects the world around you. And it's funny, this sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And I remember back at one of my previous jobs, I used to work with people, and we used to call it like um, the woo woo stuff, the the spirituality, and I always thought that was funny how they went about it, but it's pretty interesting. I realized recently it's really interesting how just incorporating even a small amount of spiritual practice into your life can really do drastic changes. It's not saying, like, for example, I'm not a big fan of how people, it's like it's always like leave it up to God. It's always God. You gotta leave it up to Him. But it's also at the same time you can't just sit there and do nothing. So there is a balance. I mean, the opportunity can be put before you, but you have to act on it to actually get anything from it. And funny enough, there's some situations, and I'm gonna create some video discussing this in more detail, um, about just fate and destiny and in general, and thinking about like, oh, we're all have a predetermined plot path or story that we have to follow, and a script that's already been written. And in essence, I do not believe that. I believe the script is written while we're making our choices. But I'm gonna again do a whole video on that. But the point of this channel, grind set, it has nothing to do really with the whole stigma of like grinding alone and whatnot. It's more along the idea of creating a mindset of hard work, and through that, seeing the world through just a different lens. Just because when you put into the world gives back to you, and that's in every avenue. And I'm not perfect. I'm not. I've just have had quite a few experiences in my life, and have seen a myriad of things, experience grief, pain, like many of you have. And we've all had our own story that we've been writing throughout our lives, and had our own traumas, tribulations, and whatnot. But I'm here trying to share this with the world, just to really help people understand that they're not going through it alone. And we really are here together. I truly believe that. I hate that stupid thing. There's not individual races. There's only one race, the human race. I would say I go one step further. I truly believe that like we are all like brothers and sisters of the universe. Like we literally, we're one entity, just experience each other from different points of view, which makes it beautiful. And that provides really the social construct of society, but also even more so the social construct of this place that we live in. And not even a social construct, the true construct. Because I mean, imagine if you could change everybody's perception at the same time. I mean, there would be a mass change in the way the world is not just viewed, how the world is. So i'm just I'm just here as a drop in the bucket again, really just wanting to lend my voice to those that are willing to listen and honestly want some help and guidance. I'm looking forward to joining you and really just walking with you in this journey. We're gonna stumble and trip and fall, I guarantee it, but we're gonna do it together, and we're gonna help each other get up and brush each other off, and move forward, because that's one of the greatest things about humans, is our adaptability. And change can be scary, but in reality, once you accept that change is a normal part of life, and that um, really, when you're not moving forward, or in essence growing in some way, you're either stagnant, or ultimately you're dying. You're kind of losing the ability and the chance to reach a version of yourself that you cannot even imagine. And especially, I wish, I'm going to share some pictures of me when I was younger later on too. But it's crazy how um, 10 years, just a decade, can completely change a person. I mean, a year, 365 days can change a person. And it's interesting, because in that change, you can lose friends, relationships. I've had some pretty interesting relationships fall through. And I remember being on the brink of being homeless, like a year after college, just because, like, just certain situations with the contracting position that I took, and not really understanding fiscal responsibility and things like that. But the funny part is, it's all a learning process, and that's the beauty of it. And at this point, I probably sound like I'm rambling, but really, I'm so excited to just share my story with the world, and hopefully that can inspire people to share their story, because I really think that um, we can create a community, and we can be part of a community that is willing to help other people, even if people aren't willing to help themselves. And that's the thing that is really the first step, is understanding and recognizing that you want help, and that you're willing to receive it. And they can be in many forms. And especially, it's very interesting, because specifically for men, um, in this day and age, it's like a lot of us are taught you got to do it alone. It's like this whole mindset of this lone wolf. And I mean, you absolutely can do it alone. I think it's easier doing it with other people. Um, bringing your dreams into reality, or bringing your vision of how you wish your life to be into this world. And honestly, it's more fun when you have it to share with people. I'm gonna, again, I'll share more about this. I've recently struggled with having a close social circle. I have a few friends back in Nashville. I currently live in Florida, but I have a few friends back in Nashville that I still keep in contact with. We talk about once a week, and it's nice, just to shoot the just shoot the crap for a bit, um, and just see how everyone's doing, catch up on their lives and whatnot. But I do believe it can be very helpful to have a social circle. Now, that doesn't mean I believe you should lower yourself to fit in with people. I'm actually, and I'll again, I'm gonna dive into this in another video. I'm a huge, I am not a big fan of conformity. I think the funny part is, and there's a whole bunch of studies, the more you try to fit in and conform, the further you actually get away from the pulse of society, and like really what the center of society is. So I'm a huge proponent of individuality. I think when you create strong individuals, that creates a better society, because when everybody in themselves is their strongest version, that creates a world that's stronger. So why focus on trying to fit in when you can focus on fitting in and feeling comfortable in your own skin, in your mind, within yourself? Because that is like one of the biggest battles we all face, honestly. Like, it's like, and I guarantee a lot of people understand this, because they go through this every day, of just struggling to really be themselves and fit in. And in reality, it's like that is the hardest battle, is the battle within yourself, wanting to try to become the best version of yourself, but also be comfortable with the negative thoughts and the positive thoughts. And the funny part is, I've seen research. Not everybody has an internal voice. think I saw it was like 60% of people have reported having an internal voice. I don't really believe that. I'm pretty sure everybody has an internal voice. Um, but again, I think it presents itself in a different way for people. Um, I will say I have an internal voice. And you can quantify it in any way you want. My favorite example, again, I'm gonna dive into this in another video, is The Emperor's New Groove with I hope everybody gets this reference because it is. If you haven't seen that movie, by the way, go see it. It is freaking hilarious. But Kronk's little angel and demon on his shoulder, and the funny part is that's I think that is such a great representation of actually like the internal dialogue that most people go through. And in essence, you have like this devil, which most people would equate to like the ego, and we'll dive into that in more detail later. And then also you have the angel, which is in essence your highest self, or you can call it God or whatever you want. And these two are in essence always constantly battling each other. In most people's psyches, the fun part is you see these gurus and these individuals that have reached enlightenment, and they've understand to really let go of this more, I want to say demonic side, but this darker side of them, but not really just let it go. They've learned to integrate it within themselves and understand like you can't necessarily get rid of the darkness because darkness and light are actually it's the same thing. It's just different sides of the same coin. But truthfully, you can't really get rid of one or the other. It just gets kind of absorbed into one side. So it's like you always and typically what that means is when they merge, that creates balance within you because now you can understand and get, in essence, advice from both sides. The thing is people are like, well, I don't usually act like that. Well, you don't have to listen to either. You can. We're beings of free will. We can make our own decisions. That's the beauty of being here, and you don't have to listen to advice from your ego or higher self or whatever you want to call it. But the truth of the matter is once you can learn to understand to integrate your shadow side, or there's a whole bunch of different names for it. Jordan Peterson does a really good job talking about this. You're gonna learn a lot about me through these videos. I have a swath of people that I read and listen to from very different eras. I mean, but integrating that kind of into me as a person and understanding that you can. It's interesting. There's a lot of paradoxes in the world and contradictory things. It's like one example is. The more you try, it's like funny that harder you try for something, more elusive things become. It's like specifically like one great example is like relationships. The harder you try in that relationship to keep together, the more likely it is to fall apart. That's like one paradox. There's thousands of paradoxes that exist in the world that are pretty funny when you think about it. But the truth of the matter is I'm here as a resource for people. If you have any questions about myself personally, or if you want advice on anything, I have a website and an email. You can reach out there. You can also DM me or reach out to me via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Again, I love questions. I love conversations. If you disagree with any of this, please reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you. I love to talk with people that disagree with me on stuff. It makes for a good dialogue because honestly, it's like maybe you can change my mind. Maybe I can change your mind. Maybe we just agree to disagree. But honestly, I think that's where the crux of growth really happens is with people that disagree and come together. We're going to have a true conversation. So I'm here. I'm looking forward again to walking this path with you. And it's gonna be an interesting ride. I will tell you that. So if you like the video, or interested in what this channel has to offer moving forward, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment in the comments section. I will respond to every comment to the best of my ability. So if you haven't seen me respond yet, don't worry about it. I will get to you. Otherwise, I look forward to talking with you all tomorrow, and you will hear just you will hear y'all and howdy occasionally. I did live in Nashville for 7 years, and I picked up some of the picked up a few mannerisms and a few of the just soliloquies and whatnot there. So I talk a little bit funny sometimes, maybe occasional twang. So don't worry about that. We're gonna have fun here though. I'm super excited again, and thanks for joining.